Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Evy Puspitasari. My student number 194, and I will present about internal conflict of Erin reflected in Freedom Writer movie using psychological theory. This study discusses a topic about internal conflict of Erin reflected in Freedom Writer movie by Richard Lagravens with a psychological approach. And the purpose of this research study is to determine the conflict experienced by the main character in the film. And the data obtained are qualitative, and the data sources that the researchers used two, namely primary and secondary data. The primary data obtained from the object of the film, and the secondary data is obtained from the library, internet, journal, and so on that related to the topic. And the technique that author use is observation technique. The writer will observe the storyline of the film and examine the internal conflict that occur the main character by combining the psychology theory of Sigmund Freud with personality structure of Sigmund. And the result of the factors that influence the emergence of internal conflict in the main character for the imbalance of the personality structure between the id, superego, and ego. And then the introduction. Literary in general is literary work that made by author's staff. There are many types of literary works that are poured into poetry, novel, movie, drama, and many types of literary work. In this study, the writer has chosen to use a love story movie as an object of analysis. And films are a form of literary art that convey information and message that entertain and unique. Movies are also liked by most people of all ages. A movie also have elements include the character and conflict. Conflict arises from relationships between characters that cause conflict between the individuals, between groups, and even conflict that arise from within themselves, called internal conflict. Relation of the psychological aspect of each character, especially humans. In literary psychology, in general aspect of human psychology become the main object that have full attention. The theory was put forward by Sigmund Freud, who is an Australian neurologist. Freud divided psychological theory into three, where the theory is described as a chunk of ice at a poles. First is id, or S, part of human unconsciousness. id plays a role in meeting basic human needs. Furthermore, ego, or ich, ego located between the subconscious and the human unconscious, fulfill the needs. Part of ego is fulfill the needs of the idea, but in certain ways. And the last, there is superego or Über-Ich. Superego is a part of consciousness of human mind. And superego plays a role to mediate between ego and the idea so that the ego isn't fully controlled by the idea. Related to the issue above, literary work such as film is also contains the issue about internal conflict of the main character, and the writer chose this movie or freedom writer movie because the movie tells a female teacher's struggle to change her education and environment, even though at first no one was supportive, but eventually changes gradually were seen in her students, and it has genre. There are biography, drama, and crime. And then methods. In this research study, the author used qualitative methods, where this method is a method that has a result of analytical produce. This descriptive method uses a literary psychology approach to the theory put forward by Sigmund Freud, and the researcher uses the movie Freedom Writers, and the movie is approximately 123 minutes long that was shown in 2007. The author takes all the parts of the movie for analysis related to the topic. The writer will do a literature study by collecting of a lot of information from the internet, library, journal, lab related to the topic discussed. In this research study, researchers used observation techniques. Researchers watch and listen to the film Freedom Writer carefully, and then the writer analyzed the conflict that occurred and some of factors causing the conflict experienced by the main character using for this personality theory, and the structure which will then be examined and observed by the parts of the film then relates for the psychoanalytic theory to a set of problem formulations. And the last, after that, authors made the conclusion of the study. And the last is finding and discussion. From the film, the author finds the causes of the author finds the causes of the internal conflict experienced by the main character. There are first, the ego contained in the main character is so big that she has the determination to pursue something she wants, as well as getting closer to her unruly students. And second, the superego in Erin can compensate for the ego she has, making Erin not do anything dangerous. It is said that this superego awakens her from a sense of ego. For example, when she is belittled by many people, even her students don't even realize it at first, and lost his Erin's sense of self-determination made her follow her student to teach up to university level, and this is the sense of ego that makes Erin desperate to go after her student. Okay, so that's all of my presentation. If you have a questions, write down below on the comment. Sorry for my mistakes and thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.